Motorcycle Adventure Dirt Bike TV, supported proudly by Adventure Spec in the UK, Rally Raid Products, Giant Loop in the United States, Adventure Moto in Australia, Pirelli Tyres, Motul Oils, RK Chains and Australian Adventure Bike Magazine.
CF MOTO800 MT. I've got the opportunity of going for a quick blast on this. It's $15,000 or a little tad more than that on road. So let's just get a taste of it. I don't have time to get up into the forest with it, so I'm just going to do some twisties, but we'll find out a bit about it. Got a KTM 790 engine in it, but because of the different muffler it doesn't quite sound KTM-ish. Okay. Okay, let's go through the bike as I find it, because this is going to be a sprint review, I've got to say. So turning the indicators, then they don't give any feel. They're very tight. I'm liking the seat. The seat's comfortable. I spent a whole 3 minutes on the bike, but the seat is definitely comfortable and the riding position is comfortable. I'm quite happy with that. It's got a nice TFT screen, probably a tad busier than some of the other more expensive options, but let's just keep reframing ourselves. This bike is not much more than over 15 grand to get it on the road. You might notice there's a front and rear tyre pressure sensor going off. The only reason for that is when I got the bike it has off-road tyres on it and they haven't had time to recalibrate because the off-road tyres take a lower tyre pressure. Got to say, it's a comfortable ride on this stuff. Seems to be going all right. It's pretty well equipped, you know. It's got heated seats, heated grips. It's got driving lights. It's got an adjustable screen. Now that's something we didn't find on the Norden, which is, you know, another $10,000 more. And speaking of screen, at 80 Ks, I'm liking that screen. It's yeah, bouncing that wind way up high, and it's keeping it off the extremities of my shoulders. So be interesting though, the size of that screen, how that would go, you know, in the dirt. Unfortunately I'm not going to get there, but I'll do some standing in a little minute, and just to see the likelihood of that jabbing me in the neck. I like the styling of the bike. It looks like a traditional adventure bike. Sneak up here. Oh. Hopefully I'll be able to get up to a bit of speed. Yeah, it's got a quick shifter. Goes in with a clunk, but it's doing it. I'm liking the bike going through the twisties. It's you know, I'm no road rider, but it's pleasant. I don't find the engine unpleasant. It's funny, you know, in the last couple of months I've certainly ridden bikes that go to the top end of the adventure market in terms of price and features, and it's nice. This is, in terms of price, this is at the miles cheapest adventure bike, mid-range adventure bike out there. And you know, I'm going to say the words value for money. Bit early, but that's what's starting to pop up in my head. Steers good, brakes well, accelerates okay. What a bike. The thing I love about it makes adventure riding accessible to many more people. You know, you don't have to spend as much as a small car. And there it is. Brakes well. I keep coming back to the price, 15 grand. So I have no idea what the suspension is like on this bike in the dirt. But you know what? It could be complete crap. And I'm pretty confident, you know, people like Clive Ward or Nick from Technic Suspension will grab this bike and for a reasonable price give you a suspension system that will, you know, will take you out bush. Standing position's okay. It's narrow, just at that juncture between the seat and tank, and that feels fine. Yeah, the foot peg placement feels good. I feel comfortable standing on the bike and tipping into corners. Yeah, it's not ideal doing this on tarred roads, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Back brake can be easily activated standing up. Yep. And the quick shifter can be as well. Yep. And yeah. No, that's alright. Can't complain about that. That windshield certainly gives great protection.
I found the activation of controls was good in the standing or seated position. The seat height was comfortable at 825mm, which is both feet flat on the ground. And narrow at the juncture of the tank and seat, so comfortable in the standing position. The rear brake lacked a bit of feel, and the ABS is of the old style, so it responds in a clunky way. It reminded me of how far traction control systems have come in the last 12 months. They are now smooth and responsive within microseconds. The large TFT screen displays the necessary information, but it seems a little cluttered. There are two riding modes, Sport and Rain, that are accessed through the left-hand switch block. I use the Rain and Sport mode. As would be expected, the Rain mode softens engine response. There's Bluetooth connectivity for mobile phone and a CF Moto Ride app that opens up the navigation function. The bike tipped into corners well. It has a 19-inch front and 17-inch rear wheel combination. It feels like a comfortable soft roader that can take you onto the dirt provided you don't put it too much in the rough stuff. The 19-litre tank allows for a heap of exploring. Reasonable suspension travel front and rear at 160 and 150mm respectively, with rebound and preload but not compression damping. which is fine for a soft roader. It does have an aluminium bash plate, but I'd regard it more like a stone guard. Ideal for gravel roads, but the mounting points don't look like they could take a big hit. The same with the crash bars, where the bars themselves look solid, but the mounting points behind them are a lot less substantial. The bike comes with a generous list of accessories, including a slipper clutch, a bidirectional quick shift system, heated seats, a useful centre stand, cruise control, LED light systems, auto cancelling indicators, and the bike also comes with a luggage system as standard. From my brief introduction to this bike, I found it was comfortable and handled predictably and reassuringly. The bike looked the goods, and I'm confident many riders would find this all they needed for a passport to adventure. The list of accessories mean you could drive this bike off the showroom floor, pick up some off-road tyres along the way and head out onto those dirt roads, which really makes up the vast majority of adventure riding in Australia. At that insane drive-away price of around 15 grand, you'd have some money left over to upgrade the suspension. But once you start that journey, you'll start laying out cash for a proper bash plate and other stuff. If I had this bike, I'd leave it as it is and recognise that it will do the simple stuff well, and I'd stay well within that lane. And in Australia, that means a heap of interesting motorcycle adventure.